All right, so today we're gonna talk about fixed costs and variable costs. These are like very important when doing business. One of the largest fixed costs that businesses have is rent. And I feel like, you'll see a lot of businesses that have people coming in and out of them, and you wonder why are they closing? It's because they have this huge ass fixed cost, and it's like their rent. So I had a friend of mine, he had a restaurant. His rent was $25,000 a month. Now his business was extremely busy. And then, someone might ask themselves, why the hell did they close? It's because his rent was $25K a month. You typically want to have your occupancy down around 15%, in my opinion. I like to keep my occupancy around 15%. That means that your rents need to be 15% of which you're making every month of your gross. So, if I don't have a calculator, but I'll calculate it and I'll put it at the bottom. I'll tell you, put, what the calculation is. But you typically want to have about 15% of your gross. So let's just say, how about this? If you're making $100,000 a month, you don't want your rent to be any more than $15K a month. So, people get these high rents. That's one thing that you cannot control. That's like one of your biggest fixed costs. You can control the cost of labor. You can control the cost of your food. These are variable costs. Those are cost of goods sold is a variable cost because those you purchase as you sell. You're not gonna need to buy, 1,000 t-shirts if you're not selling 1,000 t-shirts. You might only buy 10 if you know you're gonna sell 10. So that cost isn't gonna be, a huge cost to you. Whereas rent, you can never get away from it. Once you sign your name on that dotted line, you're stuck with that rent. It's gonna stay with you, it's gonna follow you. You're not gonna be able to do anything with it. So I always tell people, try to keep your fixed costs as low as possible. And when I say that, if you're looking for a retail storefront space, go and find, if you're looking in the area and they have a brand new shopping center, you're like, okay, let me go in this brand new shopping center. The rent at the brand new shopping center might be twice the cost as the center across the street that's been open for 15 years, 20 years. Why not go there and then, enjoy those lesser rents? Because, at the end of the day, paying high rent, it could really hurt you. It could really bite you at the end. I mean, even something so small as here, I'll give you an example. If you go to a place and you pay, let's say $500 more a month, you see a place that's $2,000 a month, and across the street they have a space for $2,500. Maybe slightly nicer. When you pay $2,500 a month, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it for you to pay that additional $500 a month? Because at the end of the year, that $500 a month turns into $6,000. That $6,000 may be the tipping point for your business, maybe the tipping point for you. So you have to keep that in mind, when looking for rents and having these high fixed costs. Remember, once you lease a space, the interior, you can design it as beautifully as you like. So for me, I'm not scared to go into a center that may be, slightly older, decent on the outside, and then I'll spend a few extra dollars up front paying the building and get it to where I need to be versus going to a brand new center, paying higher rents, and then it end up biting me on the back end because that rent's not gonna stop. And then when you go to renew your lease, they raise your rent. Leases typically raise their rent 3% annually. So the rent's not gonna do anything but keep going up. So keep that in mind as it pertains to rent, fixed costs, variable costs. Remember, most other things are variable. Your lights are probably gonna be more of a fixed cost because they gotta stay on all day. So your electricity bill is gonna be pretty standard throughout the winter months. It's gonna be pretty standard throughout the summer months, as you would imagine it would go up because it's hot outside, your air conditioner's having to work. So keep that in mind, that fixed costs and variable costs, but the biggest fixed cost is gonna be rent. So you don't want your shit to be outrageous. Never, ever, 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 and I'll say it again, listen to me, don't sign up for outrageous rent. Oh, $5,000 is not that bad. No, that shit is high. That's 60 racks a year. Listen to me, 60 grand. It's a lot of money. It depends on what kind of business you're doing, but 5K a year is a lot. 5K a month, excuse me, is a lot. So keep in mind that you don't wanna, you don't wanna do that high fixed cost. You gotta keep that shit low. So keep that in mind. That's what today's was about. That's just my little tip to y'all. So Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Remember, y'all tap in, follow me on Instagram at Mind of a Millionaire. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already subscribed. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Share. It's your boy.